And oftentimes, hotels will not identify a 13th floor. They just go from 12 to 14. But for tonight, though, the number 13 will be a spot of emphasis and power, known in some cultures as the angel number. Now, here it comes. Listen to this, prefaced by my own understood oddities. We faced Greenwood on the 13th of May. That was exactly 13 days ago. We play Franklin Simpson in the 13th district. We have 13 losses on the season. On Wednesday night between us and Todd County Central in our last win, both teams scored exactly 13 runs in total. And right here tonight, my boy Blankenberg, who wears, you guessed it, number 13, will be taking the mound for your Franklin Simpson Wildcats. And the Blankenberg family, who has two sons on our team, from the country of South Africa, whose dialing code is 27, and tomorrow is the 27th, which logically and obviously means we are going to live to see another day here tonight at Western Kentucky University's Nick Dennis Field. Let's go! I'm all fired up for this one. I'm looking forward to see our boys pull out a dramatic win here in the opening round of our 4th region tournament. The late game here is set to have first pitch at 6:50 Central Time. Our Wildcats are getting set to take on Greenwood up next on 92.3 WFKN. Welcome back in, everybody, to 92.3 WFKN's live coverage of Franklin Simpson High School's Wildcat Baseball. Coming to you from the greatest university on the planet, The Hill, home of your Western Kentucky University Conference USA 2025 NCAA Tournament-bound champions, the Western Kentucky University Hilltoppers. My name is Cody Schuler. Thank you so much for joining us here. We were set for a 6:50 first pitch, but, we're having a meeting between the coaches at home plate right now, so we might get started just a few minutes ahead of time between your Franklin Simpson Wildcats, who are technically the visiting team here tonight since they are the district runner-up and would be considered to be the visiting team, against the Greenwood Gators. Greenwood coming to from right here in Bowling Green, right over there close to exit 22 on Scottsville Road. I'm sure everybody has seen that school a time or two. But since we're the visiting squad, tell you what, let's get into our starting lineups first. Leading off, playing shortstop, is going to be junior number 7, Brady Dillon. Followed up by first baseman number 3, Lane Alford. Then the designated hitter, Jackson Gass. Then it's going to be, pardon me, I messed up my lineup a little bit. I apologize for that, my little pause there in the action. But followed up with that, I believe we're going to see Griff Banton. And then after Griff Banton, we're going to see Colton Turner, the third baseman. Followed up by that's going to be the pitcher, number 13, Boyd Blankenberg. And then right fielder, Hendrick Blankenberg, a.k.a. Goose. Then left fielder, number 2, Braylon Turner. Then second baseman, number 17, the fantastic freshman, Liam Heinze. And then in the flex position, who's going to be out in center field, but not in the hitting rotation, number 10, Easton Kelly. Then after that, we're going to take a look at Greenwood's lineup. Pitching and leading off is going to be number 7, Zach Davis. We previously saw Zach Davis. He came on for the save in the previous matchup. And then in the second spot, it's going to be first baseman number 9, Andrew Jolly. Then followed up with that, it's going to be left fielder number 4, Chaz Hoff. Then in the cleanup spot, designated hitter number 23, Henry Justice. Then second baseman number 26, Jackson Lee. Then catching, a familiar name to many throughout the Franklin Simpson community, catcher number 14, Easton Talley. And then third baseman number 5, Jake Flickinger. And then right fielder number 11, the coach's son, Cannon Jaggers. Then shortstop number 29, Whit Glossick. Then center fielder in the flex position, kind of same as us, number 1, Sam Holder. We are getting these starting lineups from your PA announcer here right now. He's going through your Franklin Simpson Wildcats right now. But tell you what, let's take a look at some statistics and on how your Franklin Simpson Wildcats finished up this season. Your fantastic junior, Brady Delk, led the team in batting average just under the 400 mark at 396. Right behind him was the senior Britt Banton, the Campbellsville University bound catcher. He hit an even 350 on the year. And then right behind him in terms of hits was the fantastic freshman, the aforementioned number 17, Liam Hines. He's finished up the season 303 on the year. It's a little bit of a dip from how he started out the season, just on fire. He was up around that 400 mark for much of the season as well. Then went into a little bit of a slump, but he's on his way back. Then after that, we're looking at another senior in the Lane train. He finished the season hitting 313 on the year. And then just a plethora of sophomores. But looking into our pitching rotation, Boy Blankenberg has been just phenomenal on the season. He finished the season with 63 innings pitched, exactly a 2.0 earned run average ERA. Boy has just been great. He had 27 runs scored against him, 18 of them come up as earned. He threw 61 strikeouts and only 26 walks. He has a 6-5 win-loss record on the season. Now, for the number 1 Greenwood Gators, they are anchored by juniors and seniors basically throughout their entire life. Now, I don't think that they play a single sophomore or freshman in their entire crew unless they are just coming on as a pinch runner or courtesy runner, as they say here in high school. They are anchored, it appears, by Zachary Davis. Zachary Davis, the senior, hit 398 on the season. Zach Davis is going to be on the mound as well, and he's got a sub-1 ERA. Not only is it a sub-1 ERA, but it's .39 earned run average. He might be the best pitcher on this team. Nathan Howard and him would probably be vying for that title. Both guys are just phenomenal from the bump. Nathan Howard pitched 54 and 2/3 innings, but Zachary Davis pitched 36 innings on the year. He will be facing tonight. He just gave up 27 hits through 36 innings of play. Only 2 runs scored against him. Both of those were earned. 34 strikeouts to 11 walks, 6-0 on the season with 2 saves. One of those saves coming against your Franklin Simpson Wildcats. Now, for the part that we discussed last time they came to Franklin, they were phenomenal on defense. They were phenomenal from the mound. This is a very good, very well-experienced Greenwood Gator team. They don't really have any weaknesses, so to say, whenever it comes to the field. Deep pitching group. They've got, let's count them, senior, junior, and that's the bulk of their pitching. So whenever it comes to experienced arms, these kids are not going to be rattled too much whenever it comes to a big moment like this. It's been back and forth between them and South Warren, the big-time 2 talents so far in the region. Your Franklin Simpson Wildcats have had a phenomenal year. There is going to be no national anthem played. We do it once in the morning, and then after that, it is just play ball from that point forward. Let's have a little bit of a recap of how the games have went for today. South Warren took on Logan County. L's down, we'll go for them. And South Warren did us a favor and just run-ruled them through 6 innings of play, and they won that one 10-0. Then Barron County took on Monroe County, and that was a 1-0 ball game. Defensive struggle there. And the game here, right here prior to us, Warren East took on the Russell County Lakers, and Warren East pulled out a win 4-3. Now, when Warren East came to play us, I said it a few times, their record is not indicative of their talent. Warren East is a very talented team. Don't let their record fool you. And they did exactly what they said they were going to do, and they just came in there and they beat us on our home field. So, Warren East is going to be moving on. South Warren will be taking on Barron County in the semifinals. And so the winner of us and Greenwood will move on to face Warren East. Seeing a few final warm-ups here from Zach Davis, getting ready to face our leadoff. And Brady Delk here to lead off the top of the first inning. As we've said, we are typically used to seeing our Franklin Simpson Wildcats be the home team, and tonight we're the visiting team. So it's a little bit of an odd turn of events here for us. I don't expect to see a lot of runs. As a matter of fact, for Greenwood to be the #1 team in the region, and we are the 7th ranked team in the region, we have actually out-hit the Gators in total hits on the season by 5 more hits. We have 241 hits total on the season to Greenwood's 236. So if I had, time to, my 2 favorite words in baseball, play ball. Here comes the first pitch. Taken inside part of the plate for strike 1 by Brady Delk. Wind up, and the pitch from Davis. That's hit, and that's going to be a base hit out into right field. Stays down on it, drove it right in between the 3 and 4 hole of the first and second baseman. And now, here comes the Lane train, Lane off. Now, with runs being at a premium here, I wonder exactly how much that we'll see small ball play, even though it is here just in the top of the first inning. So, Brady's off to a decent lead over there. Shows bunt, and he turns and he fires it right at. Whoa. The bunt went directly to Zachary Davis, and he turned and he fired it to second, but it was hit hard enough where he was able to get the lead off in Delk. They tried to turn 2, but Lane beats out the throw just by a hair. Now here comes designated hitter Jackson Gass. So the attempt at small ball does not pay off for the Wildcats here early in this one at the top of the first. Checks the runner, here's the pitch. That's going to be a little bit high and outside there from Davis. Lane's out to an okay lead, not a ton of speed in the Lindsey Wilson football commit. Swings through for strike 1. So the 0-1 count here to Jackson Gass. Jackson has had himself a fantastic sophomore season, hitting .288 on the year. The big right-handed sophomore. Checks the runner as Davis attempts the pickoff. Not in time. Davis and Howard both have very quick pickoff moves. Alford back out to another decent lead, not too far. Checks the runner from the stretch. Here's the pitch. Checks the swing. And he goes. Called strike 2. 1-2 count now to Gass. Gass back in there now. 1 away here in the top of the first. Runner on first. 1-2 count. Zachary Davis, the senior, getting the start for Greenwood. That's going to be outside. Count goes 2-2. What a season we've had here with Franklin Simpson High School baseball and softball. It's been a phenomenal year. I want to say thank you to all of our listeners and everybody that's tuned in with me here. Runner goes, swing, and fouled off, so the hit and run was on. Count stays 2-2. The final score was 5-2 at Franklin Simpson in the last matchup that we had, but as I said in our opener on this one, the score there at the end was not quite a reflection of how tight that game was. Swings through, strike 3. First strikeout of the game for Davis.
Next up for Franklin, the catcher, number 20, Griff Banton.
Now here comes the senior, Campbellsville University commit in Griff Banton. Banton hitting an even .350. He's got 10 extra base hits on the season. Here's the pitch. Stays up in the zone, does the curveball for ball 1. Lane stays over there on first right now with 2 away. From the stretch. Here's the pitch. That one goes way away. Oh, Talley tries the throw down to first, and it is close. Lane barely gets back in time. Talley thought he had him from behind plate, but just not quite enough. Lane, the senior, you can tell he's fired up just by his body language for this one. Here's the pitch. It's low in the zone. 3-0 count now. Let's see if senior versus senior here can pay off for a big moment. Here's the pitch. That one gets away from Talley. You're going to call that ball 4. Looked like it went maybe up in the zone from what he wanted it to be. But now, with 2 away, we've got a runner in scoring position and Lane Alford up on second base and Griff Banton over on first. Next up is number 12, Colton Turner. Colton Turner right now is on a 10-game hit streak. So if he can find some green grass, as we're accustomed to seeing him do. Oh, and that's fired right back up the middle of Davis. He bobbled it for a moment and then turns and fires it over to Jolly. Jolly tags first for out number 3. So the Wildcats strand 2 on base.
Franklin Simpson scores no runs on 1 hit and no errors.
So a leadoff hit goes to waste a little bit for Brady Dell. Then Griff Banton walks. He missed small ball opportunity there by Lane Alford. Was a narrow miss. But now we're going to see our big left-hander. The man out of South Africa, Boy Blankenberg. super sophomore, if you will. I tell you what, these regional games, it does become very fun to see how amped up some of these kids are to begin these, because some of them you can just really see it through their body language. I'm a big body language person, and in the body language over there on Greenwood, these kids right now, some of them are having fun, and then some of them, it looks like they are cemented into the ground. They cannot move. We've got our throwdown there from Griff Bay. And now here comes the pitcher, Zach Davis, the near 400 hitter, hitting 398 on the season. Only struck out 4 times on the year. That's some phenomenal statistics for that season.
The pitcher, number 7, Zach Davis.
Just shy of the 7 o'clock hour before the bottom of the first inning here. We would like to say good luck to our Lady Cats taking on the Barron County Trojanettes. First pitch swinging. That's going to be into shallow right field. Oh my goodness. Wow. What an acrobatic falling away catch made by Lane Alford. He ran into foul territory and has to basically jump in the air and land flat on his back to catch that one on the right field foul line. What a catch.
Next up, the first pitch,
That was incredible by Lane Alford. Shows bunt, lays it down. Andrew Jolly lays down a perfect, unexpected bunt down the third base line. Colton Turner was unexpected to get into that one. Now here comes Chaz Huff. Chaz Huff in his usual colorful extra pads. That one's popped up out of play over the top of our press box. So now 1 away, runner on first, and here comes the number 3 hitter and left fielder, Chaz Huff. Chaz Huff the junior hits 386 on the season. Good looking curveball in there, paints the outside part of the plate for strike 2. So in an 0-2 hole here, Huff versus Blankenberg. Blankenberg checks the runner from the stretch. That curveball stays a little bit too far outside that time. Count goes 1-2. Jolly out to a big lead, digging in out there on this turf field at Western Kentucky University. Here's the pitch. That one's hit out to right field. Having to backtrack is Hendrick Blankenberg, but he squeezes it for out number 2, and Jolly is back to first. We don't give enough credit, I don't believe, to the change in atmosphere that it is to come to a big-time Division I university like this for some of these high school kids. Just the line of sight can throw them off on fielding a routine catch out to right field. So great job there by Hendrick to stay on top of that one. Jolly goes, and he's going to, it gets thrown away. Was nearly caught in the pickle. Blankenberg threw it over to Alford. Alford throws it to second, and when Jolly slid in there, he's unable to be picked up by, I couldn't tell if that was Heinze or Delk. But Greenwood with a runner in scoring position now for the designated hitter, Henry Justice. Checking the runner at second. Here's the pitch. Goes high in the zone. Justice, a junior, hitting .313 on the season. That's in there. Blankenberg set. Here's the pitch. That one goes outside. Looking at a 2-1 count now. Blankenberg versus Justice. Here's the pitch. Swings through and misses. The count rolls to 2-2. RBIs on the season for Justice. Takes ball 3 as the count runs full. So with a runner in scoring position, got a full count with 2 away. Let's see if Blankenberg gives him something to hit and makes him swing. Rely on the defense. Here's the pitch. Runner goes, and that's going to be a hit out into right field. Blankenberg is going to pick it up and just throw it into the cover. And Greenwood has a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first inning. So that ball that gets thrown away at second comes back to bite us on the base hit by Justice. So Greenwood making the right plays here so far in the bottom of the first inning. Boys sets now with a runner on first and 2 away. Facing off against Jackson Lee, the second baseman. Jackson Lee, the junior. It's 282. Checks the runner, attempts to pick off. But Justice is not even off to a good lead there. Just kind of catching his bearings. Pick-off attempt there, I believe. Here's the pitch to Lee. Paints the outside part of the plate for a strike 1. 1-1 count there. There is just something pretty about the baseball coming off of a left-handed pitcher's hand. Here comes, that one is ripped down the third base line, nearly paints the line, but it stays barely foul by maybe 6 inches. Braylon Turner has to run it down out there in left field as it did bounce off that left field wall, back into play. Now we got another ball, ready to go. Runner on first, 2 away, 1-2 count. Here's the pitch, swung on, that one's gonna be fouled away as well. Out to the road. Nearly caught a CRV there. Catches a comment from his coach there in the dugout before he gets back into the batter's box to Lee. Now here's the pitch. That one's slammed right at Colton Turner. He's going to pick it up, field it cleanly, send it over to Lane Alford, and oh my goodness. They're saying that he didn't have his foot on the bag. He didn't even have a good view of that. Runner turns and hauls tail to second. Did Jackson Lee, as Justice moves on over to third, and now we're going to have a little bit of a mound meeting here. Everybody just needs to tighten up a little bit, focus in, get the jitters out. We got 2 away here in the bottom of the first. We jumped into this one and was taking care of business, and now all of a sudden things are tight feeling after getting that second out. There's absolutely no action in the bullpen or anything like that. This is just a, hey, let's buckle down kind of comment, I believe. There is an umpire meeting in the infield as well. And, challenging the call, but the runner is still called safe. I completely disagree. From my angle, which obviously I'm 100 feet away up in the press box, but from my angle, it looked like he went back down and tapped the bag, but I guess that'll go down as a throwing error. On turn. Strike one in there from Blankenberg. Now facing off against the catcher for the Gators in Easton Talley. What a wild turn of events this has turned into. That one's sent over to Heinze. Heinze bobbles it on the hard hit ball. And now he's going to, a play at the plate. He turns and fires into Griff Banton. And Banton catches Jackson Lee at the plate to save yet another run from scoring. After one run comes across the plate, a collision there. He looked like he hit his head hard. Somebody needs to check him out. Oh my goodness, that was a bang, bang play there at the plate. He did not go down easily, but Jackson Lee's standing up there. Hope he's all right. You want the best to play the best here in this one, but with two errors there on Turner and Heinze, Heinze kind of sort of makes up for it after the second run comes across the plate, and we're looking at a 2-0 ball game heading into the top of the second now. What a difficult time we have ahead of us now, facing off against a senior in Zach Davis. My goodness. I know we haven't taken a break in a long time, but we'll wait until the middle of the next inning, of this inning, pardon me. I've done a little too much rambling on in between, trying to be caught up with the bang-bang plays that have been happening here. But they do strand one on there after the second error does Greenwood. You know that under the leadership of the Western Kentucky Hall of Famer, Coach Matthew Wilhite, these kids are 100% ready to go. You know they're locked in. That's one thing that we as Franklin Simpson Wildcat fans don't ever have to question, is the tutelage and leadership of head coach Matthew Wilhite. Leading off here in the top of the second is going to be the pitcher, number 13, Boy Blankenberg. Boy Blankenberg, the left-handed hitter and pitcher. Here's the pitcher. Takes ball one high and outside. Now Boy tried to help his cause in that 13th district championship game against Logan County and blasted a 2-run home run. And he pops this one up into shallow left field, calling everybody away as Glossick, and he catches it for out number one. Now here comes number 15, Hendrick Blankenberg, who I'm told is nicknamed Goose. Now I'm going to tell on myself a little bit here. With my two best friends, you know, everybody says that they have a group chat that they never want the text to leak or anything like that. Well, Hendrick, first pitch swinging, drives it out to right field. My group text is called Talk to Me Goose, of course, after the Top Gun movie. But that's 2 up and 2 down here for Zachary Davis on just a couple of pitches. Now here comes Braylon Turner. Braylon is the left fielder for us. And Braylon, the sophomore, hitting .258 on the year. Braylon in tight on the plate. The long, lanky young man takes ball one outside. 1-0 count with 2 away. This has been a tight ball game. Number 8 hitter in the lineup takes strike one on the outside part of the plate. So 1-1 with 2 away, looking to try to get some sort of a 2-out rally going. We need anything, really, just to put up hits against Zachary Davis. Base runners, walks, whatever we can get. Takes, ball high and outside, goes 2-1 now. I don't anticipate a runaway win for either team here, even though we are in a 2-0 hole here in the top of the second. That one's hit. Let's see, Lee knocks it down, but that's still going to go down as a base hit for Braylon Turner. Great piece of hitting there for Braylon. Now here comes the phenomenal freshman in number 17, Liam Heinze. Has to feel like a big moment for the freshman being at Nick Dennis Field for the first time. But I'll tell you what, he's had a great year. He finished the season hitting .303, but even with a .303 average, you feel like it's been much higher than that. Oof, that's a close one on the outside part of the plate. Takes 0-1. So with a runner over on first now, Heinze being in the 9 hole, I don't see it as any bit of a problem. It's like we're setting up the top of the lineup with him hitting 9th. He led off. That one's hit over towards third base, and it just gets knocked down just enough. Oh, and that's going to be in there for another hit. So back-to-back hits now. Oh, no, we're going to call that an error. Wow. Okay. Called an error on Flickinger. Glossick unable to get his glove on it either. I thought it was hit hard enough to call that a hit, but I believe we're going to call that an E5.
Now batting the shortstop, number 7.
But here comes Brady Delk. With 2 on, he led off this one with a hit. Let's see if we can keep this 2-out rally moving after back-to-back hits. Now, taking his time was Davis about checking runners and whatnot, and wisely, Delk backs out, and now he's back in there. The .396 hitting junior. Turns and attempts to pick off, but not close enough for Heinze. Heinze, very quick feet for a freshman. Has played second, short, and third base for us this season. Checks the runners. Here's the pitch. That one goes low in the zone for ball 1 for the first pitch to Delk. Davis, having giving up a hit to Delk, believe that he's aware of what he's up against here. Brady Delk, a phenomenal multi-sport athlete. Here's the pitch. Jams him up and in. Goes ball 2. That's called a strike? Ball 2. .2-0 count now with 2 on. Let's see if we can cash in here with 2 away. Here's the pitch. That's off the plate, brother, but okay. Count goes 2-1. Even our scoreboard operator immediately put up a ball 3 there because it looked like a ball to everybody up here behind the plate. So now here's the 2-1 after he's gifted a strike on the beautiful campus of Western Kentucky University. Your Conference USA 2025 champions headed to the NCAA tournament. Going to be playing in the Oxford region, taking on the home Ole Miss Rebels. Here's the pitch. That one's hit over to third base, and he actually catches it, does Flickinger. And Flickinger rifles it over to Jolly just in time, beating out the hand of the diving Brady Delk to get out number 3. What a play from Flickinger. Man. Now we're going to be heading to the bottom of the second. The Wildcats down 2-0 versus the number 1 regional ranked Greenwood Gators. Right here. We'll be back on 92.3 WFKN.
We've been with Franklin Bank since '92 because we trust it.
Franklin was a great fit to help build a team and a culture that just kind of resonated with both of us.
They took a chance on us.
It's not a banking relationship, it's a personal relationship.
That's the most important thing to me about doing business with a bank is to have trust and faith in the people you're dealing with. And the people at Franklin Bank do every bit that needs to be done to give me that feeling.
Welcome back in, everybody. FKN's live coverage of Franklin Simpson High School's Wildcat Baseball, coming to you live from the greatest university on the planet, Western Kentucky University, the home of the 2025 Conference USA Baseball Champions in your Western Kentucky University. Hilltoppers, go Tops. I will say it loud and proud. Right now, we're seeing your Wildcats take on the Greenwood Gators. In the bottom of the second inning, where we're picking up right now, the leadoff hitter. And number 5, Jake Flickinger, third baseman, who made a fantastic play to end the top of the second inning, running actually to his left, and catches Brady Dell at first base. Just a phenomenal play there, Flickinger. But that's how it goes in baseball. You see somebody make a great defensive effort and play, I swear every time they're coming up to bat in the next round. Happens every single time, it feels like. Here's the pitch and the 1-2. Tags low and in to make it 2-2. Flickinger, the senior, hitting .266, strikes out on that one. First strikeout of the game for Blankenberg. Now,
Next up for the Gators, the right fielder, number 11, Cannon Jaggers.
right fielder, number 11, Cannon Jaggers. Jaggers, coach's son of Jason Jaggers, pulls back the shown bunt on the curveball and takes strike 1. Now, here's Boy Blankenberg with the windup and the pitch. Swings through and misses for strike 2. Jaggers, a very well-rounded player. Also a senior, hitting .230 on the season. Swings through and misses, but Banton drops it, so we're going to have a strike him out, throw him out, out number 2. And your Wildcats appear to have settled in nicely now into this ball game in an unfortunate 2-0 hole.
Next up for Greenwood, the shortstop, number 29, Whit.
Now here comes Whit Glossick. Glossick is currently in the number 9 hole, playing shortstop tonight. Glossick, the junior, hitting .286 on the season. Takes ball 1. 2 away and nobody on here in the bottom of the second. Here's the windup and the pitch from Blankenberg. Takes ball 2, low and inside. Shout out to the Franklin Simpson fan faithful being here on Memorial Day. Here's the pitch. That one's popped up out of the way. Speaking of Memorial Day, I'd like to say thank you to all of our servicemen and women, everybody who has ever put on the uniform, and to all of those who paid the ultimate sacrifice. We thank you. That ball's driven out into right center field by Glossick, and it's run down by Easton Kelly. That's going to be in there for a single. Well, that's how the bottom of the first couldn't get that third out. And now we're right back to the top of the lineup at number 7, Zach Davis, the pitcher. with a runner on first. Now, let's not get too cute with this one. Let's go ahead and record out number 3 before we give up 2 more runs. Here's the pitch. Beautiful curveball off the arm of Blankenberg. I mean, that's just gorgeous. 0-1, 2 away, runner over on first is Glossy. Here's the pitch. That's a chopper right up to Delk. Delk's going to pitch it over to Heinze at second base for out number 3. And we're right back in business now, heading into the dugout. That's the end of the second inning. Your Franklin Simpson Wildcats are down 2-0, but they're going to head to the top of the third inning with their bats in hand, ready for the next one. So, we'll be right back with you with more Wildcat action live on 92.3 WFKN.
We've been with Franklin Bank since '92 because we trust them.
Franklin was a great fit to help build a team and a culture that just kind of resonated with both of us.
They took a chance on us.
It's not a banking relationship, it's a personal relationship.
That's the most important thing to me about doing business with a bank is to have trust and faith in the people you're dealing with. And the people at Franklin Bank do every bit that needs to be done to give me that feeling.
Coverage of Franklin Simpson Wildcats baseball right here from Western Kentucky University's Nick Dennis Field. We're going to be heading into the top of the third inning where your Wildcats are currently down to Greenwood 2-0. But you know what? We recorded a couple of hits in this one. Another one, in my opinion, that should have been considered a hit, but they considered it an error. You know, we've been putting the bat on the ball throughout this one so far. Lane Alford's going to lead this one off for us. This sensational senior is going to be headed to Lindsey Wilson College to play football. I feel like we had a little bit of the yips in that bottom of the first inning. That's kind of what got us in this 2-0 hole. But I believe in our bats. You know, Greenwood spent much of the year as the #1 ranked team in the region. And they've got 236 hits on the season total. Whereas your Franklin Simpson Wildcats, who finished the year in 7th position, have 241 hits on the season. So, what's it go to show you? That our boys can flat out swing. And here comes one of the biggest swingers of them all in Lane Alford. Here's the pitch. Takes curveball in there. Appeared to stay pretty tight on Lane, but called strike 1. Leading off top of third. Here's the pitch. That one stays low. Ball 1. Davis can step off the mound there, collect himself, wipe off the sweat it looked like. Alford's back in there, ready to go. 1-1. Davis to Alford. Here's the pitch. That one's going to be low and away in the left-handed batter's box. I'm told that coach of Greenwood Gators, Jason Jaggers, is going to be coach of the year for the 4th region. Oh my goodness. That strike zone keeps getting wider out away from the right-handed hitters. But now we're looking at a 2-2 count. Here's the wind up by Davis and the pitch. That one's chopped foul. Still looking at a 2-2 count. We had some fun moments a year ago where your Franklin Simpson Wildcats beat the South Warren Spartans. Now that one's popped up into foul territory. And Andrew Jolly runs it down in foul territory. Wow, a phenomenal effort there by the first baseman in Greenwood Gators, Andrew Jolly. Phenomenal effort. Does even run into that wall there over by the Wildcat dugout. Now here comes the sophomore designated hitter, Jackson Gass. Jackson, I know, would love to rip one out towards the left. Takes one high and tight, ball one. We will update you with the Lady Cats softball as soon as we hear about it. Here's the windup from Davis. That one slapped foul. Windup, pitch, down in the dirt that time. Count rolls 2-1. Davis has held great command over his pitches so far. Swings through at the off speed. Misses for strike two. Fooled gas that time. Maybe we need to lay off the gas just a little. 2-2. Fouled off to the backstop. So 2-2, one away. Jackson Gas battling a little bit here, the senior and Davis. In a 2-0 ball game here in the top of the third. We are nearly half past the 7 o'clock hour. We do have some rain on the radar for 9 o'clock. But we are playing on a turf field here at Western Kentucky University. That's strike three looking right there. Good enough for out number two. And here comes Griff Banton. So playing on the turf field, that means we won't necessarily have to worry about water standing or the field getting messy. We'll be able to continue play so long as there is no lightning. And there is no lightning or thunderstorms or anything like that. And that one's popped up out of play on the first pitch, swinging by Banton. Banton with plenty of power. And I will say that the outfielders are relatively in on this one. Griff can certainly drive the ball out past any of them for extra base hits. He's got 10 extra base hits on the season. Here's the windup and the pitch from Davis. Swings through on the curveball. 0-2 with 2 away. Senior versus senior. Here's the windup and the pitch. Swings through, strike three. Gonna have a strike him out, throw him out play there as Talley dropped the ball. We've said it a few times. This right here will be a defensive struggle for both teams. I don't anticipate anybody running away with this one at any point in the ball game, as the pitching staff for Greenwood is just phenomenal. One of the best in the state, especially at the top of their lineup with Howard and what we're seeing in Davis right now. Both of these kids can flat out put it across the plate. And now we're looking at a middle of the third inning. Greenwood getting set to come up to the plate and try and extend their 2-0 lead. Mr. Talley, have you heard any kind of an update from our Franklin Simpson softball?
Go down, talk to Wicks and see if he has, and I'll take a shot.
All right, we're going to do our best to get you an update on that one as soon as we can. You know, we've had a relatively cool and kind of gloomy day here, but as we like to say, or at least as I like to say, every day is a beautiful day for baseball. The throw down there from Banton to second. Last warm-up. And here comes first baseman number 9, Andrew Jolly. Jolly, a left-handed hitter. One of those 2 runs that come across the home plate for the Gators. Laid down the bunt in his last at-bat. Was so quick getting down the first base line Colton Turner didn't even have a chance of throwing it down there. He's in on the infield right now, though, is Turner. Does not want to get burned twice like that. Swings through, strike one from Blankenburg. 1-1 count. Here's the windup in the pitch from Blankenburg. That one lifted deep out to right field. Talk to me, Goose. Hendrick Blankenburg underneath it. Out number one. You know, if we call Hendrick Goose, I believe we gotta call him Maverick. Just saying. We gotta call him Maverick. I mean, they're brothers. It is what it is. Now here's Chaz Huff. Takes curveball, stays outside of the zone. 1-0 to Huff. Here's the windup and the pitch. Fastball sitting on it, and he's going to burn Turner. One hops into the fence. Huff is going to stay standing at second base. An easy double for Huff. Huff looks every bit the part of just an incredible athlete, the way he swings the bat. Now here's Henry Justice, the designated hitter. As Greenwood is threatening yet again with a runner in scoring position. Here's the pitch. Curveball stays in there. Huff just sat back and waited on that fastball and drove it to deep left field. Burned the left fielder in Braylon Turner for the Franklin Simpson Wildcats. Checks the runner, does Blankenburg. Here's the pitch. Oh, come on. That would have been a strike with Davis on the mound, I'm telling you that. Called a ball. 1-1 count with one away. From the stretch, checks Huff at second. Here's the pitch. Gonna be low and inside now for ball two. 2-1 count here in the bottom of the third inning. Greenwood leading at 7:33 in the evening. Underneath the lights here at West Kentucky University's Nick Dennis Field. Steps off, does Blankenburg. Blankenburg been the maverick of this pitching staff so far this season. Throughout the entire year. Now it popped up out of play. Gonna make it to the road. Off the bat, designated hitter, Henry Justice. Your Greenwood Gators in the all-white uniforms with the green pinstripes, green letters and numerals outlined in yellow. That one down and inside. All right, we've got a Lady Cat score update. After one, Franklin Simpson leading the Barron County Trojanettes 1-0. Go Lady Cats. Here's the next pitch. Swings through and misses that one. Ring up one for Boy Blankenburg, and strikeout number 2 on the evening for out number 2 here in the bottom of the third.
Next up for the Gators is second baseman number 26, Jackson.
Now here comes Jackson Lee. Jackson Lee was caught trying to run home off the arm of Liam Heinze. Took a wild collision at the plate from Griff Banton. Banton, a very sturdy individual. Takes strike one looking from Blankenburg. You see all these videos on YouTube or TikTok of players running over catchers. Be shocked if anybody ever runs over Griff. Takes strike 2 looking. Outside part of the plate does Blankenburg. 0-2 now with a runner on second. With 2 away, trying to get out of the bottom of the third inning. Blankenburg checks the runner. Here's the pitch. Stays high and outside that time for ball 1. I mean, just barely. Opening round of the 4th region tournament. Your Franklin Simpson Wildcat baseball team taking on the #1 regionally ranked Greenwood Gators. Here's the pitch. That one stays outside for ball 2. Lee looking at a 2-2 count now against Blankenberg. Here's the pitch. That one stays low and inside as he turned loose of the fastball. So, after 2 straight strikes, we've got 3 straight balls to run the count full now. Looking at a 3-2 count with a runner on second with 2 away, awaiting the payoff. He's got the signal, checks the runner on second. Here's the pitch, makes him swing at one, threw that one right down Main Street, and he fouls it off. So we're going to do it again. Huff will be away no matter what, with 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 away. If it's even remotely close, Huff will be rounding third. Here's the pitch. Oh, called ball 4. Inside. So now Jackson Lee has walked. And here comes the catcher, Easton Talley. Talley, if I remember correctly, did some damage to us at Franklin Simpson. Now Talley, the senior, hitting .338 on the year. Does a great job for the Gators behind the plate. Checks the runner. Here's the pitch. Curveball stays in for strike 1. Runners on first and second. Trying to get out of another one with a runner in scoring position are your Wildcats. Gators lead it 2-0. Swung on, that one is rocketed right at Brady Delk, and he's going to run over and tag second base just ahead of Jackson Lee. And that's going to be out number 3 here to end the bottom of the 3rd inning. Gators still lead this one 2-0. We'll be right back with more Wildcat action on 92.3 WFKN.
I don't do the most, but I do a lot. I'ma make a toast, cause we still alive. No big, I feel like Pac. I shoot a shot. I'm coming in hot. Coming in hot. Shoot that. Hey, why not? Yeah, coming in hot. Just like the fajita. I write what I live. My life in the speaker. I'm nice with the flow.
Cats baseball. We're heading into the top of the 4th inning where your Wildcats will be coming up to bat as they are the visiting team here at Western Kentucky University's Nick Dennis Field for this 4th region opener against the Greenwood Gators. Greenwood currently leading this one 2-0. They put 2 runs up on the board in the bottom of the 1st inning with a little bit of small ball action to get a run over onto first with an infield bunt, and then a throwing error led to that runner moving on up to second, and then a hit drove 1 in, and then another hit nearly drove 2 more in, but Liam Hines turned and gunned out second baseman Jackson Lee home plate as he was trying to tack on a 3rd. You see the Western Kentucky University Hall of Famer, Coach Matthew Wilhite, heading out to 3rd base. Now here comes Colton Turner. Colton Turner on a 10-game hitting streak right now for your Franklin Simpson Wildcats in all games that he has been a part of. Colton having a great sophomore year, hitting .260 on the season. First pitch swinging, pops one up, foul. I think that's going to make it over the road. He put a lot in that one. Wildcats with just 2 hits up on the board. I think they were kind of robbed. I think they've got 3. Swings through, strike 2. Glad I wore long sleeves. The temperature feels much cooler than 68 degrees here on Memorial Day weekend. Here's the pitch. That one outside. 1-2 count now. Colton Turner standing in there a little tight on the plate. Up in the batter's box. Takes another one low and away down in the dirt from Davis. The wind picking up a little bit, which we are certainly accustomed to wind, it seems like, over the entirety of this baseball season. Here's the pitch. That one's low in the zone. So, after strikes 1 and 2, we've got 3 straight balls off the arm of Davis. Colton Turner, third baseman for your Franklin Simpson Wildcats tonight. Here's the pitch. Swings through, strike 3. Another strikeout for Zach Davis. That's his second of the year. Now here comes your pitcher in Boy Blankenberg. I believe I said it earlier in the broadcast, but Boy in the 13th District Championship game against Logan County blasted a 2-run shot. The only 2 runs of the game scored by our Franklin Simpson Wildcats in that one. And he's currently looking at a 2-0 deficit against Greenwood. That one's sent over to Jackson Lee at second base. He's going to field it cleanly, send it over to Jolly for out number 2. Pretty good hit ball on the ground over to the second baseman. Fielded it very well. Sometimes with this turf, the baseballs will be a little more bouncy. So a chopper might have a little extra bounce on it. Here comes right fielder number 15, Hendrick Blankenberg, twin brother of Boy. Here's the pitch. Takes strike 1 on the outside part of the plate. Affectionately known as Goose. Talk to me, Goose. Here's the windup of the pitch from Davis. Low and away for ball 1. 1-1 with 2 away. Here's the pitch. Low. Count rolls 2-1. We've stranded runners on base in each inning. Yet to move a runner on over to third. That one's fouled off and to the net. So 2-2 with 2 away. I'm not sure what the pitch count currently is. I'm going to listen for that here in between, here in the top of the 4th. But I'd venture to say we have made Davis throw a lot of pitches. And that's a strike him out, throw him out play to end the top of the 4th inning. So, let's see how many pitches Zachary Davis has thrown now through 4 innings.
Franklin scores no runs on no hits and no errors. Pitch count for Davis, 54.
Davis has thrown 54 pitches through this one, through 4 innings worth of work. So, midway point through the game, it's kind of, so-so. We'll see how it goes there for Davis. I don't know if we'll see anybody come on in relief for him or not. It depends on if they can add anything to their lead here at 2-0 in the bottom of the 4th inning now, here in the middle of the 4th. Wildcats had 2 errors in the bottom of the 1st inning and have tightened up since then. Boy Blankenberg has done his part from the mound. And I will always say, this is a season of what could have been if we had the right arm available of senior Gavin Link. Gavin Link, in my opinion, not just maybe, but certainly would have been the best pitcher in all of the 4th region. Was at that level a year ago as a junior. And with added growth, strength, and of course working at his craft, I believe Gavin would have been the top pitcher in the region and a big-time college prospect coming out of Franklin Simpson High School. Now, Jake Flickinger, the 3rd baseman, swings through strike 2. So 0-2 to the leadoff here in the bottom of the 4th. Sets up outside, this Banton. Here's the pitch. That one tails in on him, and that's going to be a base hit out into right field. Gets past Heinze. Oh, my goodness, he's going to turn that into 2. Turn that into a double after Blankenberg fell over out in right field. Looked like he just slipped right into the grass. His feet just went right out from underneath him. I don't really know what happened there. But nonetheless, turn that into a double. Now, with that leadoff double, here comes right fielder Cannon Jaggers. Jaggers threatened to bunt in the previous at-bat. I anticipate him trying to move the runner. Yep, there it comes. Misses. That's got to be called a strike because he left it out there. Oh, 1, nobody away. Flickinger out on second. Shows bunt again. That's fouled off. Credit to Blankenberg there, going right at Jaggers, tailing it in on him. When laying down the bunt, you're best suited to try to be back on it and over the top of it and push it whichever direction you were trying to get it. And he's having to back off of it. But now, strike 3, the curveball tails in, and he's got strikeout number 3 looking against Cannon Jaggers. Now, here comes number 23, Whit Glossick. Glossick with a hit in his previous at-bat. Looking at 1 away, runner on second. Flickinger is back easily at second base. That wind has certainly cooled things off here at Western Kentucky University. It's a ball low and inside. 1-0 count, 1 away. Greenwood leading this one 2-0 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. About 10 minutes shy of 8 o'clock. The late game here in the 4th region opener. The 4th game of the day here at Western Kentucky University's Nick Dennis Field, home of the Western Kentucky University Hilltoppers, the 2025 Conference USA champions. That one goes low and inside. 3-0 now, with a runner on second. We'll see how it goes. Checks the runner, here's the pitch, and he just throws that one down Main Street to get strike 1.
He's coming for you! He's coming for you right now!
Blankenberg gets the signal he likes now. 3-1 count, hitter's count as they say. Checks the runner, and here's the pitch. Swung on, foul ball. So now he's right back in this one. Looking at a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away. Runner up there on second is Flickinger. The athletic 3rd baseman made a phenomenal play running to his left earlier in this one. After 2 innings of play over the Western Kentucky University softball complex, your Franklin Simpson Lady Cats, 2. Barron County, 0. Go Lady Cats leading that one. 2-0. Here's the pitch. turns on that one, and it's going to go shallow left field. Braylon has to run it down into shallow left field, but squeezes it for out number 2. So what started here as the bottom of the 4th inning, promising for Greenwood to add on to their run total, leading it 2-0 with that leadoff double. Your Wildcats have recorded the next 2 outs in a row, but now we're right back to the leadoff in pitcher number 7, Zach Davis. And we're just going to put him on. Davis, a phenomenal hitter, but you know what? Here comes first baseman number 9, Andrew Jolly. Intentional walk does not count. We are going to get a pinch runner. It's going to be number 3, it appears, for Josiah Groff, a junior. Josiah Groff coming into the game. Pinch runner. Now Jolly, the lefty, flew out his last at bat. Here's the pitch. Swings through, strike 1. Steps off there to collect himself, does Blankenberg. A big moment for Blankenberg. 0-1 count with 2 away, runners on first and second. Here's the pitch. Lefty versus lefty. Goes outside for ball 1. Franklin Simpson in the all-gray uniforms with royal blue letters and numerals, blue baseball caps. Here's the pitch. Pops that one up in the foul play. Lands on top of our press box. Lots of construction going on right here next door behind the home team dugout for Western Kentucky University. A field house of sorts. Ooh, Franklin Simpson faithful wanted that one, but it did tail outside the curveball. Count rolls to 2-2 now with 2 away. You'd love to see Boyd get the strikeout. That is called a ball. The runner at second, Flickinger, took off, and he wanted to turn and fire it to second base, but he took that lead foot. And that's the first balk we've seen all season. So the runners get to advance to second and third now. Here's the pitch to Jolly. That's going to go outside for ball 3. Another tense moment in this one as your Wildcats are trying to get out of the jam here. So full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. Runners on second and third, bottom of the 4th. Greenwood leading it 2-0. Here's the pitch. Hammered out to right field. Blankenberg trying to get underneath it. And he drops it. 2 runs will definitely score, making this a 4-0 ball game. Hendrick looked like he had a little bit of trouble tracking that one. And he tried to slide into it and just popped out of his glove. Now we're looking at a 4-0 ball game. And the Greenwood faithful have come alive. And here comes Chaz Huff, who had a monster shot out to left in his previous at-bat. Here's the pitch. Strike 1 on Huff. And he's letting the umpire know that he didn't like it. Huff, you can definitely tell he's feeling loose right now as Blankenberg steps off the rubber. Huff is giving a lot of movement with the bat below his shoulder. Not quite Gary Sheffield-esque, but pretty close. Here's the pitch. That curveball stays in there nicely, and he hits it. Fielded nicely by Delk, and Delk's going to turn and fire over. To Alford for out number 3. But not before Greenwood does a lot of damage, and now lead it 4-0 after the 2 RBI double off the bat of Andrew Jolly. We'll be right back with more Wildcat baseball action on 92.3 WFKN. WFKN's live coverage of Franklin Simpson High School's Wildcat baseball, where we are heading into the top of the 5th inning, and your Wildcats are in a bit of a hole taking on the Greenwood Gators in the opening round of the 4th region tournament, where they are down 4-0. Zach Davis is back out on the mound for Greenwood. That bottom of the 4th inning, that was highlighted by a 2 RBI double off the bat of first baseman Andrew Jolly. Now, whoever wins this one will go on to the regional semifinal versus Warren East. Warren East, a winner over Russell County Lakers 4-3 in the game prior to us. To lead off the day, South Warren Spartans took it to Logan County, winning in 6 innings, 10-0. The game after that, afternoon game, Barron County versus Monroe, 1-0. In our previous matchup with Greenwood, it was a 5-2 game. It was 2-2 right up until the 6th inning, when Greenwood tacked on 3 more runs due to a little bit of lack of depth, you could say it, in the pitching rotation. Braylon Turner, the left fielder, is going to lead this one off for the Wildcats here in the top of the 5th, pardon me. He's going to foul off the first pitch he sees. Joined right next to me right now is a fellow Hilltopper and Bowling Green native and legend, and Morgan Meyer. If you know Western Kentucky sports, then you know Morgan. Here's the pitch from Davis. Slammed out to left field, and right underneath it, unfortunately for your Wildcats, is Chaz Huff. Tell you what, that's the kind of pitch where if we were at home in my press box, I probably would have threw my pen. But here, I just got to drop it.
Next up for the Wildcats, the second baseman, number 17, Liam Hines.
Now here comes fantastic freshman in number 17, Liam Heinze. Heinze's had a great freshman season, but oh my goodness, I don't like that call right there. Heinze's sitting in tight on the plate, back inside corner of it, takes ball 1. Looking at a 1-1 count now with 1 away. The clouds have kind of cleared off here in Bowling Green. Playing underneath the lights at Western Kentucky University's Nick Dennis Field. It's another ball outside, 2-1. Coming into this one, Davis had thrown 54 pitches, so he's not terrible in the pitch count. Ooh, called strike 2. It's a 2-2 count now. Davis versus Heinze. Senior versus freshman. Heinze is going to step out and collect himself now. Good job by the freshman there. Showing some good wisdom to step out and collect himself. First time playing on this field, I assume. And big moment for the freshman. Here's the pitch. Slaps that one straight away up into center field. That's going to go in for a base hit for the freshman. Great job getting the bat around on that fastball. Trying to blow one by him was Davis. And Heinze sticks with it. Now here comes Brady Delk. Brady Delk, he's going to walk over and get the call from his third base coach. Delk had a hit to lead off this ball game. Was thrown out tightly at first in his previous at-bat when he lined a rocket that took a one-hopper and into the hot corner against Flickinger, third baseman for the Gators, and threw him out just in time as a head-first slide was made by Delk. Here's the pitch. One 0 count now. As Tally says that one's on him behind the plate for the Gators. Believing probably he could have done maybe a slightly better frame job of that one, as that one was very close. Called ball. Pickoff attempt there by Davis. No good. It's Heinze. Heinze was, a step and a half off the bag at that point when he attempted that one. Not off to a huge lead, though. He attempts to pick off again. Back safe is Heinze. Now here's the 1-0 to Delk, checking the runner. Here's the pitch. Heinze stays. Low and away for ball 2. Wildcats needing to get something in motion here in the top of the 5th, down 4-0. Running out of opportunities. A little bit of a mound visit from Tally out to Davis. Talk it over. Looking at a 2-0 count with one away, runner on first. We'll see how they attack this one now. Greenwood, a very experienced junior and senior-led team. No sophomores or freshmen even see the field for them. Throws a strike, paints the outside part of the plate. Count rolls 2-1. Greenwood leading this one 4-0 just after the 8 o'clock hour, 8:03 here on Memorial Day. The home of the Hilltoppers, Western Kentucky University, your 2025 Conference USA champs. Oh, looked like it stayed up in the zone a bit there, but called strike 2. Brady didn't like it either, and Brady never shows emotion. Brady gave us a little bit of a lean, like, oh, really? So now we got a 2-2. Methodic in the movements. Runner goes as Heinze and oh my goodness. Tally pops up and he threw it and drilled Davis on the mound right in the rump. I mean, he plunked him right in the backside. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but that's funny. I mean, he got down and ducked and everything, and Tally drilled him right in the left butt cheek. I mean, I think they're all having a solid laugh about that one, even the umpire's laughing about it. You don't see that all the time. I think he's just fine, but I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, Tally threw a rocket right into his backside. He might have himself a little bit of a bruise back there. Well, now we got a full count here. Davis versus Delk with a runner on second and one away. Give me a hit or a ball here, brother. Come on. Down in the dirt for ball 4. So, your Cats are cooking with gas with the Lane train headed to the batter's box. Lane Alford, the senior, the Lindsey Wilson football commit, headed to Columbia, Kentucky this fall. And the Greenwood coach wants to have a meeting with Davis. With a 4-0 lead and his pitcher dealing right now, I'd be shocked if they made a change, but he hasn't had any control issues, but I would be really surprised if they made a change to Howard. Howard is, with a 4-0 lead right here in the top of the 5th inning, I would say that there's no chance. Got to be a slight chance that they go to Jackson Lee, the junior. Or Ryan, I don't know how to say his last name. It's Loiars. So we're going to call him Lawyers. Davis is going to stay. All right, so after 2.5 innings, Barron County's come back and put some runs on the board against Franklin Simpson Lady Cats over at the WKU softball complex, and now lead it 3-2. So now runners on first and second for your Wildcats with just one away, and here's Lane Alford at the plate. Here's the pitch. Just outside. 1-0 count. Lane Alford with all kinds of juice in that bat. That young man is what I would refer to as country strong. Oh, timeout called. Lane has had a couple of, we'll call them interactions at first base with other players, and Lane, it's like running into a brick wall for some of those kids. Reminds me of the line from Remember the Titans, like me some contact. I bet Lane likes all kinds of contact. He's a guy who would have been a wedge killer in the game of football on a kickoff. So take strike 1. It's a signal from our third base coach. I believe that's Coach Craig Delk over there on third base right now.
He don't play, yes.
From the stretch, here's Davis.
Yes.
Checks the runners, and here's the pitch. That one lifted out to center field. Center fielder for Greenwood, Holder, is underneath it. That's the first time we've called his name. Heinze tags up and takes third base. For the first time tonight, your Franklin Simpson Wildcats have a runner on third. Now here comes designated hitter number 19, the sophomore Jackson Gass. Jackson, a .288 hitter, has 23 RBIs on the season. You'd like to see him make it at least 24 right now. With 2 away, runners on the corners at first and third. If we're going to have any shot of getting into the lead of Greenwood, then you feel like you got to do something here with 2 away.
This was during the game. He did this play third. He didn't.
Here's the pitch. Breaking ball called strike 1. Hard to tell from where I'm sitting at, but man, that thing looked like it dropped low in the zone. Like he would have needed at least an 8-iron to get that thing. Takes the signal to Davis. Sets up outside to Talley. Here's the pitch. That is outside in the left-hander's batter's box. Count rolls 1-1. Runners staying put on the corners right now for Franklin Simpson. Down in this one 4-0 in the top of the 5th inning. Zachary Davis with 2 away, trying to get out of the top of the 5th. Here's pitch. Runner goes. Oh, no, you've got to be kidding me. That is a terrible call. He was safe by a knee, and Craig Delk is tossed. Craig Delk is run out of the ballgame, and he is livid, rightfully so. He was safe by half a leg before they got the tag down. That is an absolutely awful call, and he is run. Wow. My word, the fan base now is officially fired up for Franklin Simpson. I mean,
What coach was that?
Craig Delk is out of here.
I got thrown out, but it's fine.
I mean, wow.
Yeah.
Boy, Blankenberg's going to be out for the bottom of the 5th inning. We're just going to stick with you. I've done enough talking now where we're going to need to stick with it. And Coach Wilhite also letting these umpires have a piece of his mind. But oh my word, that was an awful call. I mean, he was knees up by the time the tag got down. I mean, that is just brutal. That's going to be one that I'm going to want to see later in this one. There's still plenty of commotion happening over in the Franklin Simpson dugout right now. A lot of action and discussion. Now we're seeing fans get run out of the game. Fans are getting run out of the stadium because, I mean, that's how brutal that of a call that was. Wow. Well, it's time to show a little bit of understanding and class. At the end of the day, these still are kids, and this still is a game. I know that has a lot of meaning to it, but we do, in fact, have to show them who we are as Franklin Simpson Wildcats. And at the end of the day, we are a first-class group. I will tell anybody that who will listen that this is a first-class community, a first-class crew of coaches. And while that was a bad call, yes. And yeah, rightfully so. I believe that I probably would have gotten rung up out of the game myself if I was a third base coach on that one. I mean, because it's an emotional game. So much hard work and blood, sweat, and tears go into this. That you rightfully show emotion. I mean, you're not a robot, and it's okay to show all the emotion. That one's lifted out into center field. Easton Kelly takes about 4 steps to his left and catches that one off the bat. And number 23, Whit Glossick. Well, here's Jackson Lee now, second baseman. Looking at a 4-0 ball game here in the bottom of the 4th. After a highly contested third out on the throwdown at second base. That'd be one I'd love to see a replay of if I could, but it certainly looked like Lane Alford was safe. Would have run us into a 2-on with 2 out play there with Jackson Gass at the batter's box. Unfortunately, no. 1-1 to Lee. Takes strike 2. I'll tell you one thing's for sure. That really woke up our fan base. They have come alive since that third out right there. In the bottom of the 5th inning, though, we don't have a whole lot of chances. That one's slapped out, and it's going to get past Heinze out into right field. He tracked that one deep into the hole there, all the way out into the grass. But good piece of hitting there by Lee. Now, here comes number 14, Easton Talley, senior catcher. Talley, a very good hitter, hitting .338 on the season. Right-hander. Takes strike 1. So 1 on, 1 away, 0-1 to Talley. Talley swings at that one. It's a chopper to Turner. Turner's going to have to charge very hard, and he's going to throw out Talley over at first to Alford. Runner does advance to second with 2 away. Now here comes number 5, the third baseman, Jake Flickinger.
Now batting the third baseman, number 5, Jake Flickinger.
Flickinger, a .266 hitter, senior. Made some great plays in the field. Runner on second in scoring position with 2 away and a 4-0 lead. You know he's going to be getting the green light in this one. Takes ball 1 off the left hand of Boyd Blankenberg. I believe it's sprinkling rain a bit out there right now. If I look up into the lights, that one's off the bat. And it goes over to Heinze. Heinze's going to send it over to Alford, and they're going to record out number 3. So, another scoreless inning off the left hand of Boyd Blankenberg, and we're going to head into the top of the 6th inning with Greenwood leading it 4-0. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with you on 92.3.
There are buttons to button, snacks to prepare, math problems to help with, and boo-boos to kiss. If you have people who need you, you need life insurance. Talk to a Kentucky Farm Bureau agent about a policy that protects the ones you love. Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance. Big on commitment.
92.3 WFKN's live coverage of Franklin Simpson High School's Wildcat Baseball. Here in the opening round of the 4th region tournament at Western Kentucky University's Nick Dennis Field, the home of the Hilltoppers, your 2025 Conference USA champions. As your Franklin Simpson Wildcats are taking on the Greenwood Gators, heading into the top of the 6th inning right now, where we are in a hole 4-0. Now we stranded 2 in the previous inning, where Jackson Gass was up to bat. A highly contested throwdown to second base when we had runners on the corners, and he was called out. Now, we won't go over what happened again. If you're watching on Franklin Simpson Channel 9, we certainly appreciate your support there. If you can't watch on Franklin Simpson Channel 9, you want to tune in to 923 WFKN. .com. You can listen live there on 923 WFKN. But Zachary Davis is back out on the mound for the 6th inning. I believe he's got 74 pitches in. That one's hit over to the third baseman, Flickinger. Flickinger fields it cleanly, sends it over to the first baseman, Andrew Jolly, for out number 1. So, first pitch swinging. And now here comes the catcher, senior Griff Banton. Griff Banton has had a phenomenal Franklin Simpson career. Absolutely phenomenal. He's been starting for 3 years. Now Barron County, a little bit of an update. Leading our Franklin Simpson Lady Cats 5-3 in this one. Hendrick Blankenberg pitching right now for Franklin. Another Blankenberg. Before a moment longer passes as Banton's looking at a 2-1 count, I'd like to give a shout out to our Franklin Simpson Lady Cat seniors. Caitlin Woodall. But first, Banton lines one over to shortstop Glossick. Glossick fires it over to Jolly, records out number 2. Number 10, Caitlin Woodall. Allie Ball,
Third baseman, number 12,
24.
Turner.
True left-hander, just like Boyd Blankenberg. Then number 14, Allie Utley. And number 4, Jasmine Grove. We held senior night, but senior night doesn't quite seem to be enough to say what those 4 young ladies meant to that program. Most of them with 10+ years of softball to their names. Just incredible commitment and drive. Here's the pitch. Called strike 1 to Colt Turner. He's looking at 1-1 with 2 away now. Here on the top of the 6th. Those young ladies have shown themselves to be valuable assets to our community. That's outside for ball 2 to Turner. I certainly hope that this is not the end of Allie Utley's softball career either, if they were to go on and finish this one in a loss tonight. It's one of the top teams in the region, the Barron County Trojanettes. Allie Utley is a supremely talented softball player. Hitting, speed, fielding. There's the pitch. Strike 2. This count runs full against Turner. Colton Turner on a 10-game hitting streak, looking at a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes with 2 away. Here's the pitch. And he's going to walk. Ball 4. And now here comes my boy, Blankenberg. So with 2 away, a runner goes over to first. Easton Talley's going to come out and give some signals. Boyd Blankenberg sets up on the inside back corner of the plate. Our pitcher trying to help himself out here. Takes ball 1 way high in the zone. I do see number 18, Brody McAllister, up in the on-deck circle. We have not seen Brody very much at all this season. Brody, if you think that name sounds familiar, was a big part of our Franklin Simpson Wildcat basketball team this season. He's only appeared in 5 games as a hitter, has 6 at-bats. No hits on the season. 3-0 count now to Boyd Blankenberg. Maybe a little bit of fatigue setting in on the right arm of Zachary Davis. Let's see if he's got the green light here, though, with 3-0 count. Here's the pitch. Called strike 1. Count moves 3-1. Coach Matthew Wilhite out on third base as the third base coach now after the actions of the previous inning. Here's the pitch. Ripped down the Foul line, my goodness. I mean, that was a laser shot against the wall down the right field line. My word. Left-hander got around on that one. He was sitting on fastball, and my goodness, as the rain continues to fall here. Thankful to be in this press box right now. Here's the pitch. Runner was away, and that's going to get foul as well. Out into the construction area. Nearly went into what appears to be a cement mixer from here. It's hard to tell, but 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runner still over on first. In Colton Turner. Runner will go. Here's the pitch. Turns it out towards right field. That's going to be caught by the right fielder for Greenwood. Cannon Jaggers to record out number 3 here in the top of the 6th inning. Well, we're going to head to the bottom of the 6th with your Franklin Simpson Wildcats still down 4-0 and a ton of work to do. So let's give you a little bit of an update. In the bottom of the 4th inning, over at the Western Kentucky University softball complex, Barron County is now on top 7-3 against your Franklin Simpson Lady Cats. Hallie Bowles is up to bat right now. She's 0 for 1 in the matchup. Hallie Bowles, a left-hander, trying to do some work with 1 away in that 7-3 matchup, in that 7-3 score. Boy Blankenberg is back out on the mound for your Wildcats. You know, your Lady Cats, no stranger to the rain, as George Strait said. The opening round of the district tournament over at Russellville High School against Todd County Central Lady Rebels, your Franklin Simpson Lady Cats, they won in a pouring down rain where it looked like I had jumped in a pool. I was so wet from the rain. Now, here comes number 12, the senior, Ryland Graves, pinch hitting for Greenwood. Now, I said this in the previous matchup, but man, somebody needs to get that kid tested. That don't look like a high school kid out there. That looks like Juan Soto out there, been hitting the weights. Pinch hitter in Ryland Graves. Ryland Graves, a lefty. Looks like that kid lives in a stinking weight room. I mean, that kid is huge. And he takes one off the back. The curveball slips out of the hand of Boy Blankenberg, and he doesn't make any attempt to get out of the way and trots on down to first base. And he's going to get a courtesy runner in number 11. Number 11, Cannon Jaggers. So Ryland Graves doesn't get any opportunity to swing the bat there, as that curveball slips out of the hand here on a wet night, a wet Memorial Day. Attempts to pick off. Jaggers is back safe. Number 29, Whit Glossick, up to bat now. Glossick, the shortstop. Lane Alford sprinting in right there. I mean, Lane was running in on the possible bunt attempt. Good job by Heinze, the freshman, to be running to first base. Oh, 1. Here's the pitch. Curveball stays high and outside that time. Rain falling really well here now at Western Kentucky University's Nick Dennis Field. Tell you what, that's going to be a wet walk back to my car as the stands are beginning to clear a little bit. 1-1 count, nobody away, runner on first after the hit batter. Pretty good amount of rain falling out there right now. Running in is Alford from first, and he, oh my goodness, he pops it up, and Alford makes a leaping catch. A great catch there by Alford to record the first out. Nearly overran the pop-up bunt.
Next up for the Gators, number 7, Zach Davis.
Now, even though we are on turf, make no bones about it, turf is slippery when wet as well. 8:31 in the evening. Runner goes, and that's going to stay fair, and Alford's going to pick it up easily, as it was just a full swing there by Davis, but it just tracked off the end of the bat, almost like a dead ball, and Alford takes it and throws it into the dugout as it tracked over towards the foul line, but Alford just picked it up and stepped on first base. It was a awkwardly hit ball there, but we've got 2 away, and here comes Andrew Jolly. Jolly, kind of the hero in this one, with a 2 RBI double earlier in this ball game. Takes ball 1. I'd like to take a moment and say how much I appreciate our Franklin Simpson Wildcats seniors. Griff Banton, Campbellsville University commit. That one's fouled off out of play by Jolly. Lane Alford, the Lindsey Wilson football commit. And Gavin Link, injured for the season after having surgery, but still has been at every game, rooting for his teammates. That one's low and away for ball 2. 2-1 count with 2 away here in the bottom of the 6th. Greenwood leading it 4-0 here in the final matchup of the day. All 4 games of our 4th regional tournament taking place at Western Kentucky University's Nick Dennis Field. Here's the pitch. That's going to be in there for strike 2 off the left-hander Lincoln. The umbrellas are fully out here in Bowling Green. Everybody's sticking this one out though. That one's ripped. Oh, Heinze stays on it. He turns and he fires over to Alford. And whoa, my goodness. Of course, Lane Alford makes no attempt to get out of the way. He stands there and stands his ground as Jolly tries to kind of halfway leap over him. And guess who's on the ground? It ain't Lane, I can tell you that. My goodness. You know, I'm going to stick with you through this break, as it might be the final break of the season unless we get our bats moving here in the top of the 7th inning. So I'm just going to stick with you heading into the top of the 7th inning right now. Greenwood leading 4-0, and it looks like Zach Davis is heading back to the mound to try to get the final 3 outs of this 4th region opener for our Franklin Simpson Wildcats. So, a little bit of an update over at the Franklin Simpson Softball Complex. Bottom of the 4th, Barron County leads it 7-3 with 2 away. Chloe Smith up to bat right now, and she just turned it into a 7-5 ball game as she hit a 2 RBI single with 2 away. So, your Franklin Simpson Lady Cats fighting against the Barron County Trojanettes. Oh, Ava Holland thrown out at 3rd on trying to steal, it appeared, based on that app that we're seeing. But man, congrats to our Lady Cats fighting to stay in this one. Coach Matthew Wilhite, the Western Kentucky University Hall of Famer, heading back out to 3rd base. And it looks like we are going to see Brody McAllister get that pinch hitting attempt. Right-handed hitter. Only appeared in 5 games, 6 at-bats, no hits on the season.
Thank you.
Zachary Davis going to try to finish this one out for Greenwood. 4-0 here in the top of the 7th inning. First pitch swinging. That one's popped up into foul territory. Andrew Jolly is underneath it and squeezes it for out number 1. Well, here comes Braylon Turner. This season has been so fun here in the booth, calling your Franklin Simpson Wildcats baseball and Lady Cats softball. I hope that, anything can happen in the game of baseball. But right now being down 4-0 with 1 away here in our final attempt, where Zach Davis has just been giving up 3 hits and no runs on the evening. It's not looking great for your Franklin Simpson Wildcats. So here's the pitch. Swings on that one. That's going to get down in the right field line. That's going to go all the way to the corner. Braylon is going to hustle. He's going to turn 2. And looks like, nope, he's going to stay at second. Great job there by Braylon Turner. That right there, for that sophomore, in what's probably his final at-bat of the season, is tremendous work. I mean, that is just completely incredible confidence booster going into a junior season for next year. And here comes fantastic freshman Liam Heinze. Heinze got a couple of hits in this one. I think 2 out of our 4. I'd like to say how much I appreciate head coach Matthew Wilhite. He is always just one of the kindest human beings to me. We both spoke at a conference this past summer at what is known as the GREC, aka the Green River Educational Cooperative something. I forget what the second C is in that GREC analogy, but we both appeared and spoke there. And Coach Wilhite, more than just a great baseball coach, great human being. Appreciate him. I'd like to say thank you to Mr. Aaron Talley, who heads up our Franklin Simpson Channel 9, the brains behind all of the live video coverage that each of you watch and see. Thank you to the Franklin Simpson Channel 9 team that has covered each and every baseball event, football, basketball, all the sports that are covered. He has a team of students typically that work for him, and it is no easy undertaking sometimes, much like tonight, getting out in the rain and picking up cameras and several other things. 2-1, Davis to Heinze with 1 away, runner out on second. Heinze going to take time. Wise decision for the freshman. I already said it once tonight, but I will always question, man, what would it have been like to have had Gavin Link on the mound? Look forward to seeing his career moving forward in baseball. After he heals, I know he is certainly going to be a force to be reckoned with on the mound on somebody's college field in the future. Here's the pitch from Davis to Heinze. He's going to take that one for ball 3. Count runs 3-1 now. Davis desperately trying to finish this one off for the Gators. A 3-1 count with 1 away. Here's the pitch. And he's, called strike. I mean, goodness gracious, y'all. I think the umpire's tired of the rain after that call. So 3-2 count now. Davis to Heinze. Time yet again. Brady Delk in the on-deck circle. Glad we'll get to see the junior one more time. Here's the pitch. Slammed out into right center field. Turner is going to turn. That ball's going to get all the way to the wall. Heinze's going to turn too, and he's coming 3. And he's going to headfirst slide into third, and he's safe. We've got a 4-1 ball game off the triple into right center field off the fantastic freshman in Liam Heinze. Heinze's got a 3-hit night, and here comes Jason Jaggers to talk it over with his senior pitcher. Head coach Jason Jaggers, the coach of the year in the 4th region, I'm told. Congrats to Griffin Rarden, son of head coach of the Western Kentucky University Hilltopper, Mark Rarden, the Conference USA coach of the year. Son is the player of the year in the 4th region. Congrats to him. Fantastic accomplishment. Jaggers is headed back to the dugout. Rain continuing to fall here at Western Kentucky University's Nick Dennis Field. And here comes Brady Delk with Heinze on third. Well, we didn't get blanked. We've got a 4-1 ball game with 1 away here in our final attempt to do anything. And here's Brady Delk, right at a 400 hitter on the season.
Number 7, Brady Delk.
Davis wants a new ball. We'll try to get you one more final update for what's happening over at the WKU softball complex and the Franklin Simpson Lady Cats before we do sign off after this one. Curveball is in there for strike 1 against Delk. 0-1, 1 away, runner on third after the incredible triple by the freshman Liam Heinze. Greenwood they've had a phenomenal year, led by a complete junior and senior roster that's played all season. The right arm of that one's tapped over to the shortstop Glossick. Oh, and my goodness, he short arms it to Jolly. The runner comes across from third to first, does Liam Heinze, and we've got ourselves a 4-2 ball game as Delk beats out the throw and Jolly drops it. And now here comes Jaggers again. I would imagine, he's going to hand him the ball is Zachary Davis. That's all he's got left in that right arm, but wow, what a phenomenal game for the senior, Zachary Davis. He did a great job pitching this one. A little bit of fatigue maybe here in the 7th inning. I don't know what his pitch count is, but he's got to be right at his pitch count right now. We're going to see number 17, Nathan Howard. Wow. Color me shocked. Nathan Howard coming on for the final 2 outs of this one. Now, Nathan Howard, by the numbers, is the top pitcher for Greenwood. The senior has appeared in 10 games, started 9 of them, has 54 2/3 innings pitched. He's given up 30 hits, 14 runs, 11 of those 14 runs being earned. 67 strikeouts on the year with just 18 walks, 6-2 win-loss record, and a 1.41 earned run average across 7 innings. Now, he's going to be facing Lane Alford. So, I tell you what, this is the top of our lineup. It goes Delk, Alford, Gass. You got to feel pretty good about the situation right now. If you got a runner on first with 1 away, if we were talking the 4th inning. But in a 4-2 ball game with Lane Alford up to bat and a runner on first, you got to score at least 2 runs here. And, I mean, as we said to lead off this broadcast, we always play Greenwood well for some reason. I don't know what it is about the matchup, but we always tend to play them closely. Year in and year out, it is always a tight, 2-1, 3-2, 4-2, 4-3 kind of game. We don't see a ton of runs scored for some reason, but I think it's mostly because while they are a great pitching team, they don't necessarily hit the ball tops in the region.
At the plate for Franklin Simpson, the first baseman, number 3, Lane Alford.
We tend to throw our ace against them as well. And we do typically hit the ball pretty well. So, we've got Brady Delk over on first base. I doubt we're taking any chances trying to steal anything here. Oh, boy. He put a swing on that one that, if you were in the stands, I bet you felt a whiff of air, even through the rain. I mean, he took a big cut at that one. But, I mean, as a senior, I believe I'd have done the same thing. Carry on, young man. Here's the pitch. That one's sent right up the middle. That's going to find green grass. It is in there for a base hit up the middle out into center field. Lane Alford, the senior, will at least finish his career on a hit. And now here's the designated hitter in number 19, Jackson Gass. Wow. 6 hits for the game, 3 here in the top of the 7th inning, 2 runs. So now we've got runners on first and second base. Plenty of speed out there on second base and Brady Delk. Jackson Gass set up in the back of the batter's box as there's plenty of heat in the arm of Nathan Howard. Here's the pitch. Fouled off. So now, in the top of the 5th inning, we've got Chloe Smith pitching for your Franklin Simpson Wildcats. Bases are loaded, and they are currently down 9-5 with 1 away. This is both teams in dire need of runs, with the Lady Cats being down 4 over at the WKU softball complex right now. What a phenomenal season it's been for them and their senior girls. Same situation over here with a young team on both fields. We do hate it that both teams drew into the same time slot, basically, and we had to make the choice to cover one team or the other. But in an effort of fairness, we chose the boys because of the girls getting the district tournament coverage. That one's chopped over to first base, and Jolly's going to field it cleanly over to Howard as runners will advance to second and third. Jackson Gass does move the runners, but that throws the second out up on the board. And here comes senior Griff Banton. Senior, an excellent young man, upstanding. I tell you what, in every interaction that I've ever had with him has been a show of great manners, and I hear nothing but wonderful things about Griff. So now with 2 outs, down 4-2 with 2 on, a base hit would tie the ball game. Because you better believe Lane is coming around from second to score. If that one gets away, runners stay put out on third base. Brady Delk stays put. That's ball 1 though. Took a hard bounce off of that backstop. And Easton Talley, I mean, that kid was showing off his pop ability, getting out of that stance. And Howard was very quick getting to home plate. And Delk wisely stays put at third. So now, tying run on second in scoring position. Let's see what Banton has in store. Swings through strike 1. I mean, I'm not going to say I wrote him off of scoring 4 runs in the top of the 7th, but I didn't anticipate it. After Davis had just been dealing all night long. Now here's Howard. High and tight for ball 2. So 2-1, 2 away. You know the heart has to just be pounding in the chest of Griff Banton right now. The senior right-handed catcher started for 3 years behind the plate for your Franklin Simpson Wildcats. A big moment for a senior. Here's the pitch. Oh, tried to check it. And yes, he went around. Now looking at a 2-2 count. Greenwood a strike away here in the driving rain at Western Kentucky University's Nick Dennis Field. What a moment this turned out to be. Down to our last strike. Can Griff Banton drive them home? Nathan Howard on for the save. Here's the pitch. Fouled off. Whew. I mean, even in this cool rain, hair on the back of my neck is standing up right now. Colton Turner on deck. 2-2 with 2 away. Wow. I mean, you gotta love the game. 2-2. Senior versus senior. Greenwood on top, 4-2, top of the 7th. Franklin down to their last strike. Can Banton bring him across? Here's the pitch. Oh my goodness, called strike 3. Low and away. Takes it looking. We strand 2 on base, and that's the ball game. Greenwood wins it 4-2. Howard comes on for the save, and your Franklin Simpson Wildcats season is over. Your boys absolutely fought their tails off. They fought until the very last strike. Down 4-0 coming into the 7th. They came back and put 2 runs up on the board, 6 hits for the game, and had a chance to tie it up down to their very last strike. Wow. Congratulations, young men. You all showed yourself to be wonderful players of the game. Wonderful young men. What a great group that this Franklin Simpson 2025 baseball roster will be remembered for. Congratulations to our Franklin Simpson Wildcats on making the 4th region tournament. Congratulations to Coach Will Height on yet another fantastic season coached. And congratulations to the Greenwood Gators on moving on to the semifinal. Well, they will return here to Western Kentucky University's Nick Dennis Field tomorrow night, taking on the Warren East Raiders. We're going to see if we can't get you one more update for your Franklin Simpson Lady Cats before we sign off. Do want to say thank you to my producer Kendra back in studio. Her last game ever with me. She's been the backbone of all of our broadcasts over the last 3 years. This one was highlighted by a 2-run double by first baseman for Greenwood Gators, Andrew Jolly, that put them up 4-0 in the bottom of the 4th inning. And man, just too much pitching for Greenwood to overcome in this one. But we've got an update for you for your Franklin Simpson Lady Cats. Currently, it's the bottom of the 5th inning. We've got Caitlin Woodall up to bat. She's 1 for 2 in the matchup. Nobody on with a runner on first. And your Franklin Simpson Lady Cats are down 10-5 in the bottom of the 5th. So the Lady Cats with a whole lot of work to do in that matchup. If they are able to come back and get a win in that matchup, we will be back with you on the call right here on 92.3 WFKN tomorrow night, and Franklin Simpson Channel 9 will join us. Caitlin Woodall just reached on an air, and Addison Shelton will come up to bat now. So 2 on with nobody away. A big moment for your Franklin Simpson Lady Cats. I just want to say thank you to everybody that's listened to every game that we've had to this point here on your 92.3 WFKN airwaves, as well as Franklin Simpson Channel 9. So your support means so much to us, means so much to me in particular. I hope that all of you Western Kentucky University football fans will come out and see us. I'm going to be your new on-the-field game day host for all of your Western Kentucky University Hilltoppers football games this season. So come on out, support the Tops this coming fall, and continue to support your Franklin Simpson Wildcats and Lady Cats for all seasons to come. Congratulations to all of our graduates that graduated right here at the Holier Hilltoppers EA Diddle Arena yesterday. We just love and appreciate everybody so much. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to go ahead and sign off now as your Franklin Simpson Wildcat baseball team falls to the Greenwood Gators here on a rainy Memorial Day 4-2 at just shy of the 9 o'clock hour. Once again, my name is Cody Schuler, your voice for Wildcat Baseball, signing off for 92.3 WF.